I always try to have a positive attitude towards almost everything in my life, but I don't even know how to say this. I don't even know how. I don't understand it, so it's hard for me to even explain what's going on. So as a lot of you guys have noticed, I've been MIA off of YouTube. Not for a long time because I just found out. I want you guys to know that I do read all of you guys' comments that you guys send me on Instagram and that you guys send me on Snapchat, and just know that because I don't respond to your comments doesn't mean that I don't see them. I read them and I see them, but I am the type of person that will always respond to you guys' comments, and I always do. And if you're friends with me on social media, then you know that I always respond to your comments. But this time around, I feel like it's just hard. The only reason why I decided to film this video and let you guys know what's going on is because I don't feel the need to let you guys know anything about my personal life, but I want to let you guys know because I've let you guys so into my life already. And I know that even though there's people that don't like me, you know, that watch my videos, or just people that just don't vibe with me, I also know that there's people out there that support me, that love me. And this is for you. This is for you, for the person that supports me. I feel like I want to let you know what's going on. I don't want to keep you guys, you know, just in the dark. Like, I don't want to get back to my regular routine, my beauty videos, without letting you guys know what happened. Because I know if there's someone out there in the world that has gone through this, because to me, it just wasn't normal. It was just something that I've never experienced before, or I didn't even know existed. I didn't know that this thing was possible. None of my family members that I know of have gone through this, so for me it was just shocking, and it was just bad. So I want to let you guys, I want to know if you guys have advice, if you guys just, if this has happened to you guys, I want to know. You know, I want to know that I'm not alone. So I don't know if you guys saw in my chatty get ready with me that I did a couple videos back, where I talked about babies, and I told you guys very briefly that that subject was just very delicate for me because me and Jesus were trying to, you know, get pregnant, but we couldn't get pregnant. Like, it was, I don't know, it was nowhere. And I was getting just so, I want to say like traumatized, just getting something, it was just becoming something like that I was just getting like sucked into, if that makes sense. Like, I was buying pregnancy test after pregnancy test, and it was just becoming just like so addictive for me to like buy pregnancy tests. So my last period was January 28th, okay? And I kept taking pregnancy tests after that, like I told you guys in that video, and they were all coming out negative. The last one that I took, and I have like the last, you guys are probably like, okay, she's crazy, and this is like nowhere near, I have more, but just so you guys can have an idea. But the last one that I took, I actually have it in this pile. It's this one right here. There's two lines, but the second line in this one is very faint. It's like almost unnoticeable unless you put it like underneath the light, then you can see it. So this was the last one that Jesus bought me, and he was like, okay, we're done taking them. Let's just, you know, let's just leave it, you know, to the universe or whatever, where we're gonna stop thinking so much about it. And this was the last one that I took, and I was like, you know what, there's two lines in that one. And he was just like, Tanya, you're seeing stuff now, you know, just like let it go. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna let it go, whatever. So a couple weeks passed by, and I was always like so stuck to this pregnancy test. Mine was always stuck to this, and I remember I was like, I'm gonna show this to my sister-in-law because obviously she has had babies, and I'm pretty sure this means that I'm pregnant, even though the line is like barely there. It's like super faint, but you can still see it. It never happened. I never got to telling her, and time just went by. So time passes by or whatever. Wednesday, March 20th comes around. On the 21st, which was a Thursday, I was gonna go out to like a banda recodo baile, and I knew I was gonna drink, but I also I had this feeling where so I decided to take another pregnancy test Wednesday, March 20th, which is not too long ago. Because I knew that the next day I wanted to go out, and something in me was telling me like, you're pregnant, but at the same time I didn't want to like get my hopes up, if that makes sense. Like, I don't even know. So I was at work helping Jesus or whatever, and I take the pregnancy test and it comes out positive. This was the second one. It comes out positive. The line is also faint, but it is darker than the previous one that I had taken. So I couldn't believe it, you know, and the pregnancy test came with 2. So I took this one and I started snapping like my close friend, just my sister-in-law, and I was like, does this mean I'm pregnant? You know, because I don't know, I feel like I was just thinking about it for so much. And so everybody starts telling me, like my friends, you know, my sister-in-law, everybody starts telling me like, yeah, you're pregnant, like, oh my god, congratulations, whatever. So I didn't stay like 100% sure, but at the same time I got so excited, I panicked, I didn't know what to do. So an hour passes by and I take another one at a different place. We were working at a different place. Same day, March 20th, and it came out positive, same. At that moment, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know like what was the next step. Like, okay, you find out you're pregnant and then what do, you know? So my best friend was gonna go with me to the doctor to get blood work, you know, just to be 100% sure that I was pregnant, even though the pregnancy test said that I was pregnant. But I felt the need to tell Jesus, you know? So I filmed him. I actually filmed him. I had the camera hidden, you know, and I surprised him with a little note from the baby and the pregnancy test, and he got so excited. It was just crazy, you know. So I started calling after I find out that I'm pregnant, and after I tell Jesus, you know, he got so excited or whatever. I filmed the whole thing. I actually filmed almost all of my family's reaction. I started calling several places because I didn't know what to do next. Like, I felt so lost and just so overwhelmed. And after calling several places, the only place that was just nice enough was this like ultrasound place. And she was like, okay, well, calculating based off your period, you have to be around 6 weeks, 6 to 7 weeks. So I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, yeah, you can come in, we can get a heartbeat. We go into this place, and it's an ultrasound place or whatever, and we're there, and the girl's like, oh, I don't see anything in your uterus, like there's nothing, you know, there's no heartbeat, there's no baby. She's like, but again, I'm not a doctor, so you should just go see an OB. So I scheduled an appointment for an OB, you know. I let him know what's going on or whatever, saying he calculated you should be around 7 weeks, you know, we're gonna get blood work done to see what's going on or whatever. He did an ultrasound as well, he didn't see any baby. So I tell my family because I was excited, you know, and I surprised everyone with a little card from the baby, and you know. And so the doctor calls me, you know, to go in or whatever. So I go in. He took a pregnancy test as well. Everything came out positive. Like, oh, he's like, congratulations, you're pregnant, whatever. he's like, I'm a little concerned because I can't see anything in your uterus yet, and you should be around 7 weeks. So he makes me get blood work done to determine like what's going on. So he says, I'm gonna have you get blood work, and we're gonna see the level of hormone or something like that you're at, and then we're gonna take another blood test in 48 hours to see if the level rises, if it increases, or if it decreases. If it decreases, that means you're not gonna have a successful pregnancy, and if it decreases, that means if it increases, you're going to have a successful pregnancy. So he calls me in, whatever. I go in, I get the first result. So I go back in 3 days to get the second blood work done. And he asks to talk to me or whatever. So he's like, okay, well, I have news for you. You're not gonna get the other blood work done. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, maybe everything came out good, you know? And that same day, I took another pregnancy test, and both of the lines were even darker, like even darker. So here's this one. So both of the lines were even darker, meaning my hormone level was going up. So he sits down with me, Jesus, and he tells us that my hormone level was at 300, meaning it was really low to the amount that it was supposed to be according to like how many weeks I was. So I was already at 8 weeks at this time. So he's like, you should be in millions and millions and millions, and you're only at 300. So he's like, I'm afraid to tell you, but you're not gonna have a baby. This is an unsuccessful pregnancy, he tells me, you know? And at that moment, and keep in mind that I had the symptoms of a pregnant woman, so I just didn't understand, you know. I still don't understand. I was really bloated, like my clothes didn't fit at all. My boobs got big and they hurted as well. And I told him, you know, like, how am I having all these like pregnancy symptoms, but you're telling me that I'm not I don't get it. How can someone be pregnant but not pregnant? You know what I mean? Like, be pregnant but not have a baby inside of them? That just doesn't make sense to me at all. And he's like, yep, he's like, your symptoms are all gonna start to faint. They're all gonna start to slowly go away, and you'll get your period like normal. He's like, you have to come back in a month from today, and we're gonna take another pregnancy test. If the pregnancy test comes out positive, that means you're pregnant. You just didn't have 8 weeks or whatever. It's like, if it comes out negative, that means it was an unsuccessful pregnancy. So that's where we're at, you guys. I didn't even know something like this could exist. I didn't know that people could get pregnant but not have a baby inside of them. Like, I had no idea something like this could be possible. And this has been hard because, like I said, I told a lot of people that I was pregnant, you know, my friends. Practically my entire family knew I was pregnant. And I surprised them all, you know, I filmed everything, and me and Jesus were just so excited. And at this point, you know, I feel like I've cried too much already, and I feel like God's timing is perfect timing. When God when God thinks I'm ready to be a mother and when he thinks it's, you know, the perfect timing, then that's when it will be. Right now I don't want to think about it. I want this to end here. I wanted to let you guys know in case any of you guys have gone through the same thing, because like I said, I've never heard this before. But as I always say to myself, you know, God's timing is perfect timing. If he thinks I'm not ready yet, then I'm not ready yet. You know, people see me cry. I honestly don't mind. I don't mind being vulnerable in front of a camera. I don't. Because I'm human, you know, and I guess this shit does happen to people. I just never thought it would happen to me. And I never thought I'd be going through something like this. That's God's plan, you know, and I'm a firm believer in that, so. And if someone out there has gone through this or is going through this, I want you to know that you're not alone. Even though I had no idea that these kinds of things happen. What's been going on in my personal life, that's what's been happening. Just know that Monday the 1st, you guys are going to have a beauty video up. I want to say Monday the 1st. What is today? Yeah, I'm pretty sure Monday the 1st you guys will have a beauty video up. You know, my mood is going to be very different because, you know, life goes on, and I wanted to share this with you guys. So all that being said, guys, I will catch you guys on the 1st with a brand new beauty video. If you have any beauty video ideas, leave them down below. But yeah, I'll catch you guys very soon. Bye, guys.